So hello everyone. So today I'm going to be making a video on how you could hook up and use a LCD screen on a Arduino Uno microcontroller, which you see right here. And I will show you how to hook it up and everything in the diagrams. So this is how it looks like, basically. And this time I used a power strip thing, so I hooked up this negative and positive. So this will be ground, and this will be going to the 5 volts, and I just hooked it up into there, right there. It's hard to see on camera, but on the diagram you should be able to see it better. So you could have it display stuff like this. And we'll get right to it then. Okay, so what you see on the screen is this is the LCD pin layout basically. And the way I'm going to be connecting it onto my breadboard is I'm just going to be putting it here. Just snapping it in here, snapping the pins in here like that. And the layout for a LCD screen is 16 by 2, so there's 2 rows and 16 columns each. So 16 here and 16 there, and that's all that it will display basically. And so basically the way I'm going to hook it up is I put the LCD here, and I put the potentiometer in here. So there's two sides and there's one middle thing. So I just snap it in here, and the first thing I do is I connect the negative and the positive. So negative is ground, it goes right here into this ground pin from here, which is negative right here. This is positive is red, goes right here, and it goes into 5 volts. And the right leg is negative, so it goes into ground, and the left leg is positive, so it goes right here in positive, the positive rail. And as for the LCD, the first pin is ground right here, so it goes right here into the negative, and the next pin is positive. So VCC goes into the positive rail. Next one is the potentiometer pin. It goes from here to number 3 to contrast basically. And the 4th pin is called RS. And that goes into pin 7 on your Arduino Uno. As you can see, the next one is RW right here, and this goes to ground. And the next one after that is let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The gray one, 4, 5, 6. So that's EN. Gray is EN. And that goes into number 8, and it corresponds to everything I put there. So you skip 4 pins, 1, 2, 3, 4, from number 8. So 8. So 4 pins, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you go to this kind of like light blue color, and that would be D4, which corresponds to here. And D4 goes into pin 9. No, I'm sorry, the light blue is D3, and that goes into pin 9, and the purple is D4, and that goes into pin 10 right there, and the light, and that aqua color is D5, and that goes into pin 10, as you can see. And D7 is right there, the last one, and that's highlighted by the dark gray, and that goes into number 12. And basically the last two pins, is one is positive and one is negative. The positive goes into here with the red line you see here, that's positive. The negative for the backlight goes into ground, which is negative right there, and it's all connected to the power strip, which goes here. So we don't have to use the ground pins on the Arduino. Plus, I don't think there's enough of them anyway, so this is a lot neater. So everything corresponds to this, right? So next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go into the coding now. Okay, the first code that I have here is, so I'll show you how to do this. So you have to include the liquid crystal library by typing in this. And this is, let me show you basically. Okay, let's look at the diagram and look at the code. See how it corresponds. So this is R8, and that's an integer. It's a number without a decimal. So RS is number 7, pin 7 here. And EN is right here, and that is pin number 8, which corresponds to that. And D4 is here, which is number 9 right there. And D5 is here, and that corresponds to number 10. And then the next one is D6, which is right here. That corresponds to that light blue, which is pin 11, and the next one is D7, the last one right there, and that's that dark gray, and it corresponds to number 12. So that's how I got those numbers basically. And then we have to type in liquid crystal. All this is cap sensitive, so make sure you don't get the capitalizations incorrect. So if you type in liquid crystal with a lowercase, it's not going to work. So it's highlighted in this color because I typed everything incorrectly. If I put this, it's not going to work. It has to be capitalized. So LCD is RS, EN, D4, D5, D6, D7, and I put it here. So I go to this line right here, void setup, and LCD.begin. I'm starting at column 16. So we're saying that this has 16 columns and 2 rows. That's what you're declaring here. And the last part right here is void loop. This is where you put your code, and it just repeats the thing over and over again. It's kind of like a while loop. So we're gonna set the LCD, set cursor. Everything has to be typed in exactly. This is capital C, and starting at 0, 0 right here. So it's going to type in hello world right there, and that's how it's going to show on the LCD. And that's basically how it works. And you're going to see that in the icon right here, in the picture. But we could do other things too. We could type in other stuff. Let's try something else. Let's type in LCD dot set cursor, and we're gonna select. So number 1 corresponds to 2 actually. Now it's going to be here, and I'm going to type something out here. And 0 is actually row 1, but it's counted as 0. So that's how it works. 0 is actually counted as a number. So this isn't 16. This is 0 to 15. That's how it's counted. So this is 0, 1, this is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. This is 0 and 1, just like that. So I'm going to put something else in here, put a semicolon to end it. LCD print. My name is Ace. I'm going to put that in there. And a semicolon to end it. And let's see how this comes out. So I'm going to send the code. It says, so the way it came out was like, it says, just like that. So we could change the position of this to whatever you want and how it would display. So if you put it in, if you put this to 0, 0, then it's going to overlap and it's going to be all messed up. So you have to keep that into consideration when you print stuff out, basically. And let's do another example. So I just copied and pasted everything in here so I could just access it very easily. So we could do another type of example this time. Let's try this one, this code. Same thing as before. So this time I'm going to be using a delay, but I'm going to be using the same line, but I want this thing to come out, and then after 1 second my name is Ace to come out. So hello world, 1 second my name is Ace, and then 1 second, and it basically clears and goes back into this loop. So I'm going to show you that one. So I'm going to load the code, see what comes up. Okay, you saw that. So that's how that's how it was outputted, basically. So let's go to the next code example. I will put all this in the video description. Actually, I can't because there's brackets in here. So maybe I'll make a file and text file, and you could download it. Okay, so next code I'll try is this. No, forget that. Let's do something else. Okay, let's do a counting one. A little more interesting. So you could play around with this code and come up with whatever. Okay, now we're going to be using a for loop to count, basically, from 1 to something. So, and I want to display that on the LCD display on the breadboard, basically. So this is how it's going to work. So of course everything's the same. It's starting at 0, 0. So it's going to show that it's a counter. Okay. And this is a for loop, so it starts from, let's start at 0. 0 to 1000 is too much. Let's put 25. 0 to 25. So what this is doing is, this is counting, basically. So when the number is 0, then it's 1, and it counts numbers 2, 1, and then it counts, it becomes 2, and stuff like that. It's kind of like a series or something that you learn in mathematics. It's like it's called an alliteration or a summation or something. So next thing is LCD cursor is 0, 1. So I want this number to display at, let me show you that diagram again so you get a better look at it. So I want the counter number to come down here. This is where I want the number to count, basically, and this is where counter is going to display on the top, and this number counting is going to display on the bottom, basically. That's how it's going to show. And I'm going to run this, and you're going to see that basically. Okay, just like that. That's it, basically. And you could change the position of this. I'm going to do that right now and change the delay period. Delay is how many seconds it delays before it refreshes. So let's try 250 milliseconds. Let's try something else. So I wanted to display right here, let's say. So it's going to be on row 0. And let's see, counter is how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I want to display a 10 right here like that. See how it comes out. I run this thing. As you saw that this time the number counted faster because I changed the delay speed to 0.250 seconds. Before I had it at half a second. So the smaller you make this number, the faster it's gonna like count, basically, or refresh. And then I went here, and I forgot to tell you this. So LCD.clear, after everything is executed, it clears and then it goes back. So if you don't have this, you're gonna see something funny, basically. So that's basically it. So just play around with this code and be familiar with it, basically. That's it. Okay, thanks for watching. By Ace 1000KS 1975 signing out.